Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the VBG and Overmortal. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We're so close to 7,000, it's ridiculous. But today, I'm actually going to go through the Beastwaves event because I think, there's some things that need to be said about it in terms of possibly skipping the event to get better next time, but I'll explain that in a minute. First, we just need to do some dailies. You know how it goes. You got to do your dailies because, at least as a free to play, it's the only way I get things. And I mean that. But on the bright side, my cosmic laws are absolutely flying up, which feels good. Almost got ability Shimmer Earth, not that I really want to equip it, but I need to be ready to get Void Law, 8,000. I'm only at 6,583 laws at the moment, but it's all about planning. It's all about planning. So anyway, the Beastwaves event, it's pretty easy to get to the first reward level every single time this comes around, even as a free-to-play. It's really not that hard, so that does make it good in that aspect, that it doesn't really gate you from rewards. But the problem here is that when you reach the spirit world, that's when these, the final reward here on the White Tiger Devouring Sword Shard. Everybody's going to get that just from doing the event. But the further you get into the spirit world, the more you realize how not great that is. Because in essence, a Zodiac is pretty much a pet that can't die. So the better casting that you can get in your treasure workshop for your Zodiac, the better. And for the Beastwaves Weekly, you actually get a choice between the Inferno and Searing Blades. So it's really kind of ideal to get the one that's best for you. With Inferno Blades doing crit resistance, but it does do more base damage. But that is, you only get the crit resistance at 3-star, and I'm going to be honest with you, reaching the 3rd tier of the Beastwaves event one time is probably not going to be enough to actually get it to 3-star. But if you've already just unlocked Zodiac anyway, it could be worth saving so that you actually can unlock one of these purples in the treasure workshop, because the blues, they are okay, but it's really not spectacular. I do get the crit resistance, but that's only because it's reached 3 stars, and it's only reached 3 stars because of that Beastwaves event, and I have never sat there and been like, hey, you know what? I'm actually just going to sit here and save enough to get 110 kills, or 225 kills, sorry, because it's 3 lightning bolts per kill, so you're going to need 675 in order to get to the 3rd one. But honestly, it is absolutely worth it. I don't recommend doing it for your first few Beastwaves event, and I say that just simply because you get a lot of plywood, and this is probably going to be one of your biggest sources of easy plywood outside of growing it and outside of probably your Apex. So some people will only reach 40 kills here, and then they absolutely will not spend any more, and they'll save the amount for the next time, do 40, save the amount, do 40, save the amount. That's probably your best way to go, up to you get 675, so you can get to the 3rd tier once, just to get those purple treasure workshop items. Now, I'm obviously going to get it now. I've got this far too late. I should have been saving this earlier, but I was always just getting the first 2 tiers because I thought to myself, that's nearly impossible, the 3rd tier. What are the chances of me getting there, right? But it totally is possible. It will take a bit of saving, but it's just something to remember. Because having a pet that can't die that still gives you stats the entire time in a fight is just, well, it's ideal, let's be honest, it's ideal. But this is going to take a while for me to actually do all the lightning bolts for, but we'll get there. Of course, I'm also going to get a lot of relics, and that's nice too, but what I want is many, many kills. And I suppose another bright side of doing this actually is that it pretty much guarantees a good rank at the end of the Beastwaves event. And that's always nice, because if you can remain in the top 7 to 10, ideal. Of course, I have no use for creation jades, but, it is what it is. Alright, first round done. Second round, 110. 110 done. So much plywood. We're going up a few levels today. And now to 225, which is pretty much all of the rest. There we go. Done. And beautiful. Finally got my blades cast. Now the other reason that you want to get there is simply for the special R3 rune chest. You can't get these anywhere else. So that's part of the issue there. My Zodiac part has been empty. I did touch on this briefly for the beginner guide in the spirit world, but these flower areas, you can't fill them unless you get those special chests, and the only way for free to play to get those chests is through that event, basically. And as you can read there, if enemy HP is less than 80%, then it has a 19% to grant curse, which means they can't put buffs on themselves on hit, and it triggers once per 300 seconds, which is 5 minutes. I'm putting that on, obviously. It's my first one. You know, I should have had one of those a long time ago, and I didn't. But again, arguably the Zodiac's more important than a pet with the way that you can pimp it out. And of course, it's also nice to get the treasure lanterns, which is going to help you in the other weekly as well. But again, I have to reiterate, it's probably still worth you actually doing for the first few times this beast event comes around. Get to the first one and save everything past the first tier of rewards. And then do it again, and then do it again. Because if you're free to play at least, you are not going to have enough of these things in order to get to even the second tier of rewards every time the event comes around. And that is with doing everything every day, every week until it comes back. You can't. It probably takes 3 weeks, 4 weeks to generate, if not a little bit longer, to generate enough to get to the third tier without spending money. I mean, there's a reason that people are ridiculously high kills, and it's because every single one of these weekly events is worth spending on. That's just the way it is. But I'm actually going to get some Alioth. Very nice. Third floor, Nature Mantras 10. Please. Nice. Tasty. Searing Blade Shards 40. See, that is actually the one that I want to, because it's going to be crit perception. So I'm actually going to get them as well. Give me that. Absolutely worth it. And then the 5th floor, which I can get absolutely none of. With that being said, if you're willing to wait the time, you could go all the way to 590 kills, but that is more than double the time of waiting, and that's a long time. But these weekly events are where people spend probably the most money outside of the essential permanent packs, or what they would consider the permanent packs anyway. So I mean, I'm 4th. Getting 225 kills is probably going to secure me a top 10 spot, and I'm fine with that. I don't really need, you know, the rewards that I get from this top 10 unless I start getting the permanent pass and getting the creation artifacts, which is, I do want them. I'm not going to lie. I do want them. They would be good. But, you know, 81, that's what I like to see. So you are going to see a lot of people spending money on these events for the first few cycles of them, because you just get so much stuff. I might make it to halfway to R13. That's all right with me. Very nice. I need to get more Searing Blades. Can I please just do that real quick? Searing Blades, all of them. Thank you. And again, you can only put one on at a time, but the stats from them will still stick around. So even if you've upgraded one and you start using another, the stats of that are still affecting you. So that's probably the better side of it. It's just the active effects that we're after here. So I am absolutely forging this. Hell yeah. Now, hopefully, you can see, insanely expensive to get this to 3 stars, but it's something that I am going to be absolutely working towards. I want that crit plus 18%. Man, I want that crit plus 18%. See, at the moment, my White Tiger Sword's giving me crit resistance plus 16%, and I can level this a little bit, which I might honestly just do. I'm not doing anything else with them. So ultimately, you could probably still take getting your White Tiger Sword to 3 star just to have one that's decent and you can actually effectively farm it. Searing Blades is definitely a little bit down the track, especially if you're free to play. But if you start working on it earlier, you will absolutely have this done by wholeness. I just didn't. And I should have. I really, really should have. But that's what I get. That's what I get. Now, just before I go, small update on what I'm going to be doing. I am absolutely going to be swapping to Divinity from Demon. I should just keep my exact, so I should just swap to Divinity 9 middle. So I think all that's going to be good, but I'm not switching until I have officially made the Divinity robe so that I can get that 3 stack of shields. It's a bit sucky that I have to wait until I make that, but it is what it is. I'm a patient person. It's just going to take a little while. But other than that, it's just business as usual, I'm not going to lie. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave this short one here. This is just something to take note of, put in the back of your mind and be like, yeah, that's not a bad idea. I'm just going to get to G10 real quick, if I even can. Surely. 27.5% of the way to Nirvana, let's go. God, it's slow. Oh my God, it's slow. Anyway, as always, have a great day.